Hello and welcome to today's video. So, it's the final Westpoint Toy Fair, and once again I'm joined by my friend Andy here to talk us through.
Hello again.
And it was quite an interesting show. Well, first of all, just getting there was hard enough, wasn't it, Andy?
Very wet, very windy.
The rain was quite literally phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was bananas.
Yeah. It was a great stall to start with.
This was just inside the door.
Steve Haynes from Bath. A lot of vintage 60s, 70s stuff, a lot of Timpo Airfix.
It was a good stall, wasn't it?
Mark's action figures, Mark's Best of the West figures. Yeah, lovely stall. Our friend George bought something off this stall later on. A Dr. Kildare medical set.
Oh, really?
From the early 60s. Yeah. He bought that. It is on the back of the stall.
Fantastic.
Yeah, right up at the top.
So good, like you said, good stall to start. There wasn't
good.
Masses. This particular fair, I didn't think there was masses of our sort of vintage stuff, if you know what I mean. I've seen more others.
Yes, sometimes. I've seen less at others too.
Yeah.
But there was certain stalls had some nice bits and pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But the weather was just phenomenal. It may have put off a few dealers. Certainly would have put off a few punters, I think, driving up.
Possibly. It was road. Pretty horrendous at times.
It was, yeah. And it's just bad luck.
Uh-huh.
So, as I mentioned at the start, this is now going to be the last Westpoint Toy Fair.
Last one at that venue.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be at the Matford Centre in Exeter from now on, starting next February.
Right, and we think, well, from what we've pieced together, it looks like hiring even half the hall cost them, what, £18,000?
£18,000.
Which is a lot of money.
A time.
Yeah. And when you think, I don't know what they charge the dealers. Do you think a couple of £100 a stall?
I don't know what it is per table. Don't know what they charge.
But and then I don't know how many come in through the door. 1,000 possibly.
Yeah, it was quite busy, wasn't it?
It was pretty busy. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So you could say 1,000 people at £4 each, and maybe the early birds a bit more. But I think they're going to be struggling to maybe make their money.
It must make financial sense for them to downsize it a bit in terms of the surface area of the hall. Yeah,
absolutely. So that looks like, for the time being at least, this is going to be the last Westpoint Toy Fair that we'll be going to. But hopefully we'll be able to get up to the Exeter one,
the Matford one, which is going to be on Saturdays.
Yeah, and it's not till February next year.
February the 11th, I think, something like that.
So well, hopefully viewers will be at that one, and we'll obviously report back and see what it was like.
Yeah.
This store wasn't too bad. I spent a fair bit of time here. They had a nice little selection of die-casts. I thought this show was stacked with loose die-casts from what I could see, because I was looking. As you know, I've been picking up some of the Matchbox toys, and I think the early unboxed ones represent good value for money. That was almost all the early Glue Star Trek Next Gen.
All the first wave, by the look of it,
Yeah, I don't see those that often, and they were in nice nick.
Yes, they were.
So there was all sorts of stuff here. It was a typical Westpoint Toy Fair, wasn't it? Toys, die-cast, trains,
real mix.
Action figures. There was the Funko stuff, but not a lot of it. Thankfully, not so many Hot Wheels. It seemed to be a Hot Wheels convention last time, wasn't it?
Yes, that was a bit.
This time round, we've been spared. I don't know if you saw this. It was like a vintage dress-up cowboy set, which I thought was quite nice.
No, I didn't spot that.
And it was lively. Certainly, the first couple of hours, it was packed.
It was very busy,
and it was a strain to get through some of the rows. You were really struggling to get to the stalls. Yeah. Lots of cuts here because there was just people in the way. I had to get my spot, film what I could film, and then move on to the next bit. But yeah. I still found a few bits. So what did you end up buying yourself, Andy, this time?
I only bought one item, actually, and that was a Mark's figure, actually, a late 1960s Mark's, one of the noble knights on horseback.
Yeah, okay.
With the box for the horse. It was the Silver Knight, British version.
Right, and did you have those as a kid?
No.
No, never had them. No.
But they're very nice. I've got the Black Knight, so I just need the Gold Knight now. But it was a reasonable price.
Yeah.
We'll probably see the store later, so perhaps chat a bit more about it then.
Okay.
But that's the only thing I bought, actually. But it was good.
I bought I think six Matchbox toys, Matchbox cars, and I bought the Corgi police box, a really nice one of those.
Oh, yes.
From that gift set.
Is that your Dinky?
It might be a Dinky one, actually. Dinky. Yeah, you showed it to me. It's just the one I wanted on its
lovely.
own.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
It was a good condition one. I've seen them in much worse for a lot more, and I was after one which was not pristine, but good enough to put in the cabinet,
Right.
which is what I wanted. So
It's a nice one, yeah.
yeah, I was pleased to get that, but I didn't spend a lot. But I think I found a few bargains, so I was pleased with that. But lots of tables like this, just piles of like loose die casts.
Yeah, lots and lots.
Were funny, and I noticed some other dealers were even sort of packing up by 12:30, 1 o'clock. They were already starting to fill their vans out. I thought, blimey, that's a bit sharp, but it had died out. It did seem to die out quite quickly.
We got there about 10:30, didn't we?
Yeah, by about 12:30, I think.
It was thinning. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, absolutely. So a few things. I mean, I saw one guy. He had two nice Matchbox cars. They were £20 each. They were 70s ones, which was probably about right. And I said, well, I've just come in. I'm going to have a little look around. And I went back, thinking I might make him an offer if they're still there for like 2 for 30 or 35 or something.
Yeah.
But one of them had gone. So evidently, it was all right price. I thought they were, to be honest. And I didn't bother with the other one for 20. But I was happy with what I got.
Yeah, I was happy with mine. I was torn between that and Steve Hayne, who we mentioned earlier. He had 3 Zeroids, Mark's Zeroids toys, boxed, and I think the best condition one went before I could get my hands on it.
Yeah.
And I was really tempted with one of the others, but I went for the knight in armour in the end.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I saw interest. There was these big train stalls, and they are massive stalls, aren't they? Sometimes 3 or 4 long.
Yeah.
But I never see a lot of action happening on
no,
them. I don't know.
Don't see people clustered around them so much.
I don't know what it is. I mean, generally, the stuff like this is all quite clearly boxed. You can see what you're looking at. So maybe it's just easier to shop it. But I don't really see much massive demand for the train stuff.
No, not at the fairs.
And the sort of high quality diecast didn't seem to be there. So I was, once again, I've got a small radar out for original Chipperfield Circus stuff, and I'm very, very tempted to dive in. If I could find that original box set for a reasonable price, I think I'd start collecting it. But it just wasn't there.
No.
I mean, literally wasn't in the room, and yet the last one there was.
Yeah, sometimes you
do
see a bit of the circus stuff, but
I know it all got re-released, but I would only want the sort of the 60s releases myself. This guy was all right, but super expensive.
Was it?
I mean, he had nice stuff, but I thought he was very, very dear. I picked up a few bits. I thought, you're joking, out of a box.
Yeah.
But it was quality stuff, So I guess it swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Real mixture.
Lots of dinky reissue stuff around £10 a pop. Have you noticed that?
No,
and I think
really.
there was like a Partwork which re-released a load of dinky cars.
Yes.
Because I've seen the Partwork for like 10, 12 quid an issue. And I think a lot of the stalls are sort of flooded with that. And I have seen some of the earlier Corgi Model Club stuff turning up now. You know, people who've stopped collecting it, for whatever reason, They just... it's started to show up at shows and that now. So.
Right. Yes, there was a dinky Partwork. I don't know if it's still going or how many issues there were.
No, it seems that maybe there's not so many hard and fast rules about repro and dinky stuff.
Maybe so.
I don't know.
I mean, it really was the older dinky stuff by the look of it.
It was older stuff. Yeah, it was older stuff.
It's not like
the license things. Yeah, well, that's it. The Corgi Club have been saying that the most requested model is the Batmobile, but they cannot get the rights.
It's licensing.
Yeah, they're not allowed it. Yeah. But they have inquired. They could do the Bond. So Bond, they're good to go. They can do any of them. So
come on, bring them the Toyota.
I think that's probably the next one, isn't it? I would, if they had to choose one, I think the Toyota might be the next one for them to do. I don't know if they'd ever do the moon buggy. They might.
Maybe.
Who can tell? But they said cost of sword, they're made in China, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they said the costs of manufacture have really gone through the roof lately.
Right.
So it might affect... Well, they put the price up by a couple of quid now.
Have they?
So including delivery, they are like, a good £25 each model now. But I still think they're worth it, and I've enjoyed pulling them together myself.
I've seen yours, and they're very nicely done.
Yeah, they are.
No doubt about that.
And when you get a few together, they display so well, don't they? I mean, and it's sort of reignited my love of old die-casts, really, because I used to have a few. I used to just collect like bubble cars. A big run of them. I had about 8.
Yeah.
And I when you have these purges over the years, you get shot of them.
Indeed.
But it's given me the urge to get them back now.
I like mostly TV and film stuff,
yeah,
but not all.
No,
I did have others as well.
No, there is other stuff there, and like you say, the TV and film stuff has always been good.
Yeah.
I saw loads of Magic Roundabout this time round,
Right.
and I think the Magic Roundabout, the railway set, which you don't often see. There was 2 at this show.
Really?
2 boxed ones.
Missed those.
Yeah, you'll see them in the video. This wasn't anything for display. This was an auction house for an upcoming auction. Loads of mega rare stuff, Japanese Matchbox sets, pre-production stuff.
Oh wow!
So it was just on display to advertise an auction coming up.
I see.
Yeah, very, very rare. It's a Japanese set in the worth a fortune.
Yes,
hundreds and hundreds, thousands
but
probably.
you never see those at the fairs.
Yeah, mega rare. So you can see it's all pristine condition.
Right.
So that's an auction that they've got coming out, and they were literally just there to sort of show gift sets, all sealed gift sets they had. Very, very nice. I had a very long look at that.
I've never seen that at a Westpoint before.
No, it was just an auction company.
Quite a novel thing to do.
Forthcoming auction, yeah. Incredible, eh? Huh. Some good stuff there by the look of it. I think is it Murphy's Auctions? I don't know if I've actually show. I think they're called Murphy's Auctions.
All right.
If anyone wants to look them up. But lots of that sort of stuff, models of yesteryear and stuff like that. Yeah, it's endless, isn't it?
Endlessly pushing this stuff out.
Yeah.
And nice stuff. I'm sure if that's what you're into.
Yeah. You need plenty of room to display it, though, wouldn't you? You know, I think that's one of the biggest issues is space for any collector. We both suffer from it, don't we?
Kitmaster one, that's original.
Yeah, the Pride of Truro or something.
Yeah,
like it was.
Kitmaster became Airfix, didn't it?
Right.
Or Airfix bought them out.
Might be.
Well,
as I'm sure a lot of people do, they watch these videos and they pause it. And if you watch it on a big screen, you can actually really look at the detail.
Yes.
Just pause it and you can look at the tables then. It's like a record of the shows, isn't it? Because I pretty much record every single table that's there as long as I can get to it.
Yeah.
And this guy was definitely at the last one with a very similar stock. Yeah. But it's changed a little bit, you know. So it's always worth revisiting.
Yeah. There we go.
Just the character options.
Yeah, lots of
Doctor Who stuff.
Doctor Who. Miko Tom Baker there. You look at Lego more than I do. Was there much in the way of Lego?
I didn't see any vintage space, but there was some vintage other stuff. Lots of recent stuff, which I'm not really into.
Right.
I don't mind looking at it, but I think it's really expensive. But it's got its fans. There was more Lego here than there was at the Lego Fest in the Plymouth Guildhall in the summer. There was, so it's creeping in more and more. I did see people buying the little minifigures and stuff like that. So they are collectible. But it's a real. I'd say it's half and half now. It's half traditional toy and train, and then the other half is more, Lego action figures.
Yeah, I think over the years, toy and train's got a bit less actually.
Yeah,
this fair. Yeah.
Well, it's a sad thing to say, but the collectors are slowly dying off.
It's an age thing, I suppose.
And new people aren't getting into it so much.
Yeah.
I think they mentioned that on that TV show. What was it called again? The Vectis one.
Yeah.
One of the interviews in there, they said that just the actual
collecting is generational. That's true.
Absolutely.
That's what you grow up with.
Yeah, that's it. So that's why Turtles, for example, is so red hot. Apparently, it's even very interesting. An action figure grader on YouTube said AFA, their submissions for action figures, Turtles is the big thing.
Really?
They have more Turtle submissions than Star Wars. But it's a market we don't even look at ourselves.
Not
really, do we?
No,
but you remember in the Plymouth Toys R Us, a wall,
massive
floor to ceiling,
and
there must have been 300 different figures there you could have picked out.
The height,
yeah, absolutely incredible. Back in the 90s,
it was very big at the time.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Yeah, but that's something that's red hot now. One of the hottest things out there.
Yeah, I mean some of those figures are genuinely rare. Like Scratch and ones like that.
Yeah. But I mean, we had the opportunity to get them back then, and we didn't really. I mean, did you buy some? Did you buy any?
I bought a Krang, I think. Right. A Krang.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't like a disembodied brain?
Right, exactly. I remember the Star Trek ones they did. Did they do the Turtles as Star Trek characters?
They did, yeah. Classic Trek characters, yeah.
Yeah, I never got those, but I remember seeing them and thinking, they're quite fun.
Yes.
But like you say, that generation now, that was quite nice. I used to have that.
The xylophone.
Magic Roundabout xylophone. I remember having that as a kid.
I didn't spot that.
There's only a £5 as well.
Silverstone refreshments. Strange.
It was quite nice. A very basic Give a Show projector set for £20 as well.
I did see that. Yes.
I was tempted with that. Actually.
Yeah, I think the only licensed character looked to be Popeye on it. But,
Puppet or Andy Pandy.
Andy Pandy, yeah. There's so many variations.
But there's loads of them in there. There's
a lot of variations of those from that era.
Yeah, they are nice though.
Obviously, some of them have Doctor Who.
Yeah, but I mean, even the Doctor Who in a nice condition, it's not a fortune. You can still find it.
It was around for quite a few years. The Doctor Who set.
Yeah.
It's not mega rare.
No, it's not. We've seen
compared to something like the Batman one, which is really rare.
Really, yeah.
That wasn't on the market for very long. Couldn't have been.
Right.
But the Doctor Who was on the market for.
So
probably 4 or 5 years.
Though, it really displays.
Yeah, 4 years.
A great one. Yeah, I might go down the Give a Show route. I know George got quite a few, hasn't he?
Oh, he's got lots.
Yeah. But there is loads to collect, isn't there?
Yes, he's got lots. But there's some nice ones. Joe 90.
I think I had well, I only had one as a kid. It was the Tom and Jerry one.
Thunderbird, Stingray. Yeah, some good TV related ones. Atari.
All right.
All sorts. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. You never see these stalls do a lot of business, do you? The bookstores really
don't seem to, but somebody must buy them.
Well, I think so. This store here, it's all laid out, and it was just deserted.
You don't see
anyone like shopping or anything.
Around them.
I'm sure he must do business, else it wouldn't be worth him turning up.
Sure.
But, they just don't, because it's already let. It's all perfectly on display. So I guess you don't need to rummage. It's all just there. You can pick out what you want.
The shop comes to you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. It's a busy sort of stall, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think some of the stalls were suffered this time that they didn't have enough space. There was one guy who had just boxes on top of the stall, and you had to sort of go through trays of stuff.
Yes,
I thought, man,
Matchbox.
Yeah,
I remember seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even get a look. I couldn't get a look in because it was
absolutely piled. It
was just rammed, and it's not the ideal way to come to a toy fair, sadly.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. This was a real clearance store.
Yeah, a few Palatoy Daleks in the background.
Yeah,
one at least.
I think he was just looking to clear it.
Yeah.
I think he may never do a toy fair again, this guy. It was the last sort of hurrah, really.
Yeah, bits of all sorts. Marks on.
Once again, I don't think it's the sort of show where you're going to sell Pokemon cards and that sort of stuff.
No,
I didn't really see anyone looking at it.
No, it's not a lot of high-end stuff. I mean, we were talking to Steve Hayne, and he says, his really pricey stuff he wouldn't bring to this store.
Just
he'd take it to Sandown. Nice island at the top of the world poster
nice.
there.
Yeah, this was
Paul's store. This is
it?
Paul and Mark's store. Yeah.
I knew I had seen them.
They did have some nice stuff. They had a very, very nice Mark's Army rifle boxed.
All right.
£200 on it. But 1960s one, very nice.
The Palatoy Star Wars Star Destroyer, which I ummed and ahed about.
Oh, yes.
And I went back and I asked him about it.
Yes,
there it is.
You just see the rifle next to the Evil Knievel.
Oh, there we are. And there's the Star Destroyer.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
It was 120, a beautiful box, but he said it was a bit tatty on the back.
Uh-huh.
And I ummed and ahed about that because it's one I haven't got, but gave it a miss in the end.
Yeah.
But Paul was saying it was a bit of a quiet day.
Yes, they weren't having a great day.
No.
But they're a good store, They're some good things. And they will listen. They will take offers,
Yeah.
They're based in Cornwall. There we go.
Tell you one thing, I was kicking myself. I should have been looking for it. And I need to give you the heads up as well. I'm after that Penguin van. They did one, I don't know, it was about 2000.
Right.
Penguin released a die-cast Penguin delivery van.
Ah.
And they did a longer one, which was like an Arctic lorry with a thing on it a bit later.
Oh, right.
But the other one is harking back to the 1940s one that they used to have.
Oh, yes.
And I had one as a kid, and I had it in front of my Penguin books, but when I had one as an adult, but when Sam was a kid and he was playing with it just got wrecked. He played it as a toy and he just chewed it and that. So I'm after a nice one of that. It's in a pretty nondescript box, one of these ones that you see to a penny, but I think it's quite scarce. It's at least a tenner, maybe 20 even,
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind getting one of those back now before they do go into obscurity. I don't think they have much of a run, just a couple of thousand or something. It's a really nice distinctive orange van, the same colour as the books, so we'll look out for that next time.
Yeah. Welcome to Nick Mulford's stall. Yeah, he had an incredibly rare action figure on that stall.
Yeah.
Which, if we could see, I'll chat a bit more about.
Okay.
It's a horror one. Yeah, but he always does a good stall. Oh, yeah, tons more Matchbox.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's quite an obtainable series to get if you're happy to have them like mint loose. You know, I'm not fussed about having them all boxed. I'd like examples of all the boxes. I think I've already got that now, all the different styles. But to get them loose, you know, it is possible, definitely. You know,
Right.
And it's good fun to collect. You know, well, you've got that great book that we looked at the other day, the Matchbox book,
Yes.
and you know. It can be as expensive a hobby as you want it to be.
Yeah, depends what you want to focus on, doesn't it?
Absolutely, but you know, obviously it's not my specialty, but I've enjoyed doing it as a sideline. You know, I've had a lot of fun collecting them so far. As we thank my Patreon and channel members, all good sorts, all of them, I tell you.
There we go. Yeah, more modern die-cast.
Indeed.
You do see this stuff fair after fair after fair.
Yeah, you do.
There we go.
Oh, this was Steve's
This
store,
is,
isn't it? I love that Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man.
Yes,
but it's one of those new ones where you can't see the figure.
That's
It's in
right.
a box.
It's closed box, yeah.
Don't like them. Not so keen on those.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steve was fairly brisk. Had a nice stall as usual.
Yes. Yeah.
Some good stuff
It
there.
displays nicely, Steve.
Yeah. He's an old hand. A few more. This is the store right next to it, actually, and it's some decent.
Oh, in the corner.
There's some nice stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, quite nice condition, some of it.
Yeah. I think this is the first Magic Roundabout train set we see in a minute.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Or maybe not. Or maybe we'll have to wait. Yeah, that blue one there is the ice cream van.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one I've been after for ages, but
Yeah.
it was a bit too far gone, and it's still 24 quid or something.
God, I remember some of these from childhood.
Yeah.
Didn't have them all, but I remember some of them. Oh, yeah. There's
Our
one.
playground, they call it, Magic Roundabout Playground.
Playground.
But I'm sure it's got a train that goes around the side.
Yeah.
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 I didn't see a price on that one, but it's usually a few hundred £100.
It is now, yeah. Yeah, it has been for a while, really.
They had all those Matchbox box sets there as well, in quite nice condition. But none of it was priced, so you had to price on application, I guess.
Right. Now, I come up to the store now where I got my knight in armour, I
Oh,
think.
right, maybe that's coming up then.
And there he is. just out of reach there. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see, yeah.
Just on the left.
They had a couple of Blake 7 bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, cool.
Yeah. But she was a nice lady, that's
Yeah.
She writes Blake 7 stories for Big Finish or something, she was telling me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she's a huge Blake 7 fan.
Yeah, that's hence the Blake 7 bits on her.
Yeah, she had lots
on
of
her
Blake
stool,
7 stuff, yeah.
Oh, that's
She was good,
interesting.
she was nice to deal with.
Oh, good series, Blake 7. I really like it. Yeah. Really, really good.
She's got an original prop gun.
All right, oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She had a reproduction there,
Yeah.
but she's got an original.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Says
Yeah.
it does light up, but it doesn't make the noise.
No. That was added by the BBC Radiophonic Workshop.
But I was telling her about a Blake 7 item she didn't know about.
All right.
Well, I don't collect Blake 7, but
No.
there was a Blake 7 gun released back in the time. I don't know if it was a knockoff or really official, but it fired ping pong balls.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and she'd never heard of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't have one, but
No.
I've seen a picture of a boxed one. So
There wasn't masses of Blake 7, but there was some, wasn't there?
yeah, little bits. These are nice.
Yeah, they were. They were
The boxing
ex-shop stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a good store. And that was like quality pieces.
Yeah.
Bit out of place at that particular fair.
Yeah, yeah.
A bit for the youngsters, I suppose. The Pokemon and what have you, trading cards.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I guess they might sell at this fair. There were youngsters there.
Yeah, there were.
It's
Yeah,
not all-
absolutely.
There were
yeah.
families there, and there always are.
Yeah.
You do see kids walking around with stuff they bought, so good for them.
Mm.
absolutely.
There's a fair bit of farm stuff on there.
Military,
Tractors, traditional toys.
Well, there was a good selection of that there.
Yeah. The inevitable Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
A few people buying
this guy was good, yeah. The Batmobile box at the back there, the big one, the red one.
Yeah.
That's an Italian
one.
one. He's actually the actual car itself. We might see in a minute. That's rare. He had some rare stuff. This guy.
I did see that someone had the Palatoy talking Batmobile as well, which I hadn't seen one of them in ages.
Oh yeah.
On one of the stalls.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah, if you pan up, you'll see the actual car. But that's a rare one. No, we don't see the car.
Oh well.
That's what that was. Yeah, there was a bit of Sabutio stuff.
A little bit, yeah.
There we go. Had that blast off.
Yeah,
it's a good game.
It is a good game, isn't it? Yeah.
Had that from the time, late 60s. Ah, there it is.
There's a second one.
The other one with the train.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you know, I missed that.
Rare to see two. The first one I've seen in years.
Yeah,
and then to see two at the same show. Just shows, doesn't it?
Yeah. Nice toy.
I had a couple of the die-casts as a kid, the Magic Roundabout ones.
I didn't have those.
I didn't have the train. But they were corgi as well, I think, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of Magic Roundabout stuff. Got something, card sets and things. But yeah.
Little display cases, plastic display cases.
Back to the modern stuff.
Yeah. Cheap Funkos.
Yes.
If that's your bag.
Some of them are. Some of them are cheap, some of them are absolute fortune.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Stores are a real mixture.
Yeah, they were, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is this for model railways? Is it to have like as backgrounds?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is, I think, but you can make what you want out of them, can't you? But yeah, it's the way a lot of that stuff was originally produced back in the day, pre-war, and because Airfix, when they started doing kits in the 50s, did a lot of kits which were for use with model railways, which was a real big thing then. So
I filmed a bit of Cindy here. That's what my sister used to have.
Yeah,
it's like it came after Barbie, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, the British take. Now there's the Give a Show projector there.
Oh yeah, yeah, 20 quid.
Yeah,
it's not bad, is it? You know,
turn of the 60s, something like that. Did mention it to George. He couldn't remember if he got it or not.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
he's got so many.
Yeah. Maybe we can borrow them for a video.
You need a lot of room.
Yeah, they're done over a few days.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good stuff though. Yeah, I got a nice Jungle Book one recently.
Right.
Small. There's two versions of it. Got a small one. There we we go again. Old and new. So many modern makers of this stuff as well.
There was definitely a few people we've seen recently who weren't there.
So a couple of those there, nice 60s Thunder Fab ones, Thunderbirds Fab ones. So a couple of those. That looked like the remote control one. There's a friction version of a remote control one. Sorry, you were going to say?
Just seemed to be a few dealers that we'd traditionally have a lot of our sort of older TV stuff who weren't there this time, and whether they got. There didn't seem to be empty tables at Westpoint.
No,
so
there were some.
They just gave it a miss.
Yeah.
Masses of figures.
Yeah,
tubs.
Really were lots this time.
Yeah,
even more than usual, I think.
But no, it was that dear. I don't think it was just if you're into it or not. I guess.
Yeah, some bits around, some nice AFX HO00 stuff.
So I mean, this was the very last Westpoint. I'm trying to think when it started. At Westpoint.
I don't know when Bulldog Fairs started them.
No,
what a while.
Got to be 20 years, I would think.
Yeah, I think
20 years.
You were going to them before I did.
Yeah, that's when we had the shop.
Yeah.
So it would have been in the 90s.
In the 90s,
yeah. We would go to Westpoint. It would be very little we'd buy for the shop, but we might buy the odd bit or piece.
Yeah,
I mean, back then even Jim Stevenson was coming down. For
the
odd one, wasn't he?
I can remember buying
Andy Foley,
loose Mego Joker off him.
Yeah.
But there were some good things to be found.
Yeah,
cropped up when George got the Doctor Who money box. Didn't he? Remember that one? The box Doctor Who money box.
I do vaguely. Yeah, it was at Westpoint. I've had some finds over the years. Yeah,
I got a Aurora Invaders UFO.
Yeah,
unused, unmade, original first version. Yeah. One of the best things I've ever bought there.
Yeah, funny.
It was really great.
Yeah. I remember I got some nice Star Wars stuff from someone. It seemed dirt cheap, like a couple of wristwatches, like £1 each.
Really?
It was just ridiculous prices.
It's New Avengers.
Oh yeah, New Avengers Hardbass. We're talking
Don't
about
see
that
those
one,
much.
No, it was only £12.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be a bit of an end of an era at Westpoint.
Yeah.
It has been there a long time.
And it's good for parking.
Yeah, easy parking. It's just off the motorway.
Yeah.
I mean, the next nearest one is Shepton Mallet, which is comparable to this in Somerset. So that would be the next one if we wanted to do that. Or we'll see what the new Exeter one's like in February.
Yeah. I
wouldn't rule out Shepton Mallet, but it is certainly a longer trip.
It's like the Scale Electric set I had as a kid.
Yeah, so I had the minis. I had the minis.
Did you?
Mini 400s.
Yeah, that looked like the box the one that I had.
I remember my set just rusted away. It was on display. Well, not on display. It was out in the loft, and I left it out too long.
And the track all rusted.
The track rusted away. It wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah. Great toy.
Not sure what happened to it, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, I had a couple of minis.
Yeah.
So yeah, we shall see what we shall see with Westpoint.
Yes.
Or the toy fair in general going forward.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's obviously still a market for it. I guess it just needs to find the sweet spot.
I've not been to the Matford Centre, so I don't know how it compares size-wise.
No.
Don't know.
All we hear is parking's tricky. So we're going to size it up. We'll weigh it up, the options, and
Might
see.
be worth going early entry.
Yeah, or even by train. I don't know how far away it is from the train station. Is it in central Exeter or?
Fairly central. We'd be better driving.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we shall cross that bridge when we get to it.
We will. Thrash that out in February.
We will. But yeah, these are the last few stalls now. Working my way around it.
Oh yeah.
I think that was possibly Julian.
Yes.
Or maybe he's the next stall over. I can't remember.
He was in that area.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's not him. I think he's the next stall over.
Next one, yeah. Yeah, bits of all sorts. Isn't
Yeah, that was Julian's stall because he had a big pile of revolver. And we were just talking about Ryan Hughes because his Dan Dare one was right on the end.
Yes,
there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Ryan Hughes cover number 1.
Yeah,
right,
funny.
we haven't come to Nick Mulford's stall yet. I want to talk about this action figure.
Right.
Okay. I hope you filmed him.
Well,
come on. If not, we'll talk about him anyway.
Yeah.
But yes.
Well, yeah, this is the last row. So,
right.
What was the figure then? What was it?
It's a figure of the character that Peter Cushing played in Tales from the Crypt.
All right.
1972, Grimsdyke. It's an American figure, numbered limited edition of 100.
Wow.
Nobody seems to really know anything about it. Apparently, officially licensed, as in terms of the look of the figure, from Roy Ashton, who was the Hammer makeup guy, the main Hammer makeup guy. It mentions him on the box.
Incredible.
But he picked it up. He paid £200 for it just to have it, really, as a conversation piece. But nobody seems to be able to find anything about the company or whether there are others in the series. Just a really, really rare figure.
Yeah.
Genuinely rare.
Nuts.
When people say things are rare, no, this is genuinely.
It definitely is.
the real
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely. Yeah, funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it will pop up in just a minute.
It may be so.
But if not, thank you very much for watching this final Toy Fair video from Westpoint.
Adios,
Thanks again for Andy for coming along and helping with the commentary, chatting about the Westpoint Fair. It is what it is, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we've certainly enjoyed our time. We've all had good finds there over the years. And thank you for watching today. And if you've not already, do please hit that subscribe button for regular Toy Fair content. And I shall look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.
Bye.